Hello, Orgasmic Arc community, and also hello to Instagram. I got an instinct because there's a lot of people on Instagram that don't know about the Orgasmic Arc community here. And there's a lot of people in the Orgasmic Arc community that aren't over here on Instagram. So I want to be able to chat with all of you. So bear with me while I go back and forth between the two platforms. Say hi if you're watching live and let me know how you're feeling in your body. Let me know how you're feeling in your body. So once a month in the Orgasmic Arc community, we have something called, well, actually every week we have something called Sex Church, but once a month, those sex churches are geared toward answering your questions. And every month, the theme of the questions change. This month, the theme is around your sex life, how to bring people into pleasure. So because I haven't yet gotten any questions from y'all, and that's often probably my fault because I haven't let lots of people know about it. So pop up Q&A. I wanted to be live on both Instagram and here so that you could ask any questions that you have around your sex life, and I can be available to answer them. So if you have a question about your sex life, now's the time to ask it. Facebook, Instagram, question about your sex life. If you don't have any questions about your sex life, I will just sit here in pleasure, squeeze my pelvic floor muscles, and wait for you. It could also be a question about sex in general, because this month in the Orgasmic Arc community, we're really focusing on bringing others, meeting others, bringing others into pleasure, meeting them in their orgasmic arousal stage, and how we do that. And there's tools that we have with the Orgasmic Arc. There's 6 steps for how we actually do that. And right now we're focusing on step 3, which is the act of meeting your partner. So and ask me a question at any time while I chat about this, okay? Anytime. So when you're in the act of lovemaking, what you do is if your partner's aroused, your partner's in the arousal state, your next step is to find where your partner wants you to meet them. So it could be that they want you to touch them in a certain place. And stay there. It could be that they want you to move a certain way and stay there. It could be that they want you to meet them emotionally. And so you be with that, you stay there. It could be that your partner wants you to be really kinky with them. And so you meet them and you stay there. Often when we meet our partners, we think, okay, let me just do this for a bit and then I'll move. Let me just do this for a bit. And then if I'm not getting an automatic immediate response, I'll move and I'll go somewhere else and then I'll try it here. It's like, no, meet me, stay with me. Your partner wants you to stay until they have the full erotic expression of their orgasm, which is also crying, which is also screaming, which is also whatever it is. So, oh, thank you, Noble. Noble said I look beautiful. I feel beautiful. Tell me any questions around this, around when you're lovemaking, any moments where you're in a spot of like, well, I don't know what to do in this moment, or I don't know what to do if my partner acts like this, or I don't know what to do if this happens. What do I do if they start crying? What do I do if they pull away? What do I do if the energy starts to wane? What do I do if I want something my partner's not reading me? Yeah. These are all really common questions. So ask the one that is coming to you. What's the question that you most have around this topic? And then I'll answer it live. And I don't know how many of y'all have been following me for a few years, but I used to do these Q&As all the time on my personal Facebook page. And if I didn't have any questions like I don't today, I would literally just sit. Like I would just hang out in pleasure and wait. And I'd pulse my pelvic floor muscles. I'd breathe. And I'd wait. So I'm going to do that again. And I look forward to hearing your questions. I will repeat a few times on Instagram because they don't have a caption of the live, so they don't know what I'm doing. Instagram is me on Instagram. I'm doing a live Q&A around sex with others, leading others into pleasure, into bliss, leading others into their climactic edge, to their orgasmic edge, even to their emotional edge. How do you open someone? And how do you be opened? That's what we're playing today. I'll wait another couple minutes or so, and then I'll go on my merry way and self-pleasure myself if I don't get anything from y'all. If there are any questions. I got a question. This always happens. When you wait, it comes. All right, this question is what to do. It's from Julia. Hi, Julia. Hi. What to do when partners are trying to connect and attune, but feeling increasingly unsafe. Like both are trying, but they're not feeling the attunement. Okay, so like, let's go into this moment a little bit. Oh, and now I have 3 questions. Okay, great. We got a lot. So I'll start with this one. Let me try to go into this moment just so I know that I understand your question, Julia. So I'm imagining like both of you are trying to attune and connect. And is this during sex or before? I'm assuming it's before, because I'm assuming we wouldn't go into the actual act of having sex if we're not feeling safe. So I'm assuming this is more like step 1 safety, a step 1 safety question, right? And as you try to connect, you're feeling increasingly unsafe, which is like so common. Why? Okay, either before or after. Great. So this is super common because we naturally bring partners into our lives in order for us to heal. So there's going to be moments in your partnerships and in your relationships where you feel a sense of unsafety and your body constricts and contracts. And then your mind will go and it will create reasons. They'll go, oh, it's because they said this, because they did this. Now the self-aware mind will go, what does this remind me of? Who does this remind me of? This is my father, this is my mother, this is my aunt, this is my babysitter, this is my teacher. From when I was a little girl, when I was a kid, when I was a little boy. And so you'll go into that memory and you'll see if you can understand where it comes from, because then it's not about the partner anymore. Safety can never really be found in another, but it can be mirrored from another. So for example, if you have gone through that experience of recognizing this lack of safety actually has nothing to do with my partner, like, and you've sat with it and you've been in it and you've been like, whoa. So what I would do if I'm in that moment and I'm feeling unsafe, I'm going to take a break probably if I don't know exactly why. I'm going to take a break, or I'm going to ask to share about what I'm feeling, knowing that they didn't do anything wrong, just so I can help identify what is this trigger that this is bringing up in me? What is this reminding me of from childhood? Yeah. And then when I found the trigger, then I'll say it and I'll say, this reminds me of my mom. This reminds me of my dad. This reminds me of how this used to happen. And I'll share vulnerably with a space of like, hey, my little kid inside of me feels unsafe because it reminds me of this. And then your partner will either say, will probably say, how can I help you? Yeah, how can I support you? Like, the idea of healing is that when we vulnerably share, and, often with couples, the answer is always to vulnerably share. And what I mean by vulnerably sharing is, I mean, not sharing from the mind, but from the emotions, sharing from the little kid inside of you that's hurt, sharing from your fears, sharing from your pain. When we vulnerably share, then it allows our partner and us to start to attune, because there's like it's not a defense anymore. Right? It's like we're actually feeling the fear, the pain, the sadness, the grief. And our partner's like, okay, I can meet you there. But if we're meeting our partner with words or with anger or with defense or with sarcasm, I mean, all those are defenses against an underlying emotion. So what we want to do is we want to find that underlying emotion and vulnerably share it. And then you ideally can ask, your partner will probably want to help you. If you vulnerably shared, it's very hard to look at someone that you love who's like actually being authentically vulnerable and sharing a really scary part of themselves that maybe they've never shown anyone before. Odds are, unless your partner is like a total psychopath, odds are your partner will go, oh, my honey, how can I help? Right. And you'll say, well, my mom always used to just disappear when she was upset. And I'm really scared that you're going to do that. This is like an example. Can you instead hold me for 60 seconds and then you can leave, for example, and then let me know when you're coming back. That would be really healing for me if you'd be able to do that. And then your partner will reply and said, okay, I can do this part, but I can't do this part. Does that support you? And you're literally negotiating the healing. You're negotiating the healing. Now, sometimes a partner is not able to negotiate any of that healing with you. That's why you hire a mentor, because your mentor can say, yeah, like I'm happy to negotiate this healing with you. I've done my own healing and I have mentors holding me behind me I can fall back into. So I'm happy to, how do you need me to run around to show up as the parent that you never had? So that's where attunement is really in attunement comes from a deep place of vulnerability and a deep place of presence. And when we're not vulnerable and we're not present, we're either in the past or in the future. And if we're in the future, we're probably trying to escape the past. So most likely you just got to go back into the past. Okay. How does that feel hearing that, Julia? Let me know. For those of you that are just joining on Instagram, I'm going to do this a few times, Facebook, because Instagram doesn't have a little thing that I can tell them what's happening. Those of you that are just joining on Instagram, I'm over in the Orgasmic Art community right now doing our once a week at 1:30 p.m. I have something called a sex church. And I know that not a lot of you know about it. So I wanted to bring you in to see a little bit about what we talk about and what we do. And that way you can be a part of it every week, 1:30. And so right now, every week it's a different thing that we do. And we have an overall monthly theme. The theme of the month is sex with one another and how to navigate being together and how to navigate opening someone and how to navigate that. And so that's what we're playing with. And right now we're doing a live Q&A. So you can ask any questions on here, Instagram. And we also have some questions here over in Facebook that I'm going to answer. I got one from Insta from T Gratitude. Hi. How do you feel energized from sex instead of depleted afterwards? Oh, I love that. Love that. It's such a good question. Okay. So sex is inherently an energizing mechanism. It's actually here to bring you back to your full life force. If sex feels depleting, it is likely that you have bypassed yourself, either to please another or do what the other person wants, or that's really it. The answer is basically that you've bypassed yourself, because your energy, the energy of bypassing yourself, you'll feel depleted and you'll feel drained when you're not in your body. So when you're really deeply in your body and you're really feeling yourself deeply, and you're making split-second instinctual decisions during sex based on what you're feeling and what you desire in every single moment. I always say that sex is inherently selfish. Great sex is inherently selfish. What I mean by that is that both people are constantly self-attuning and self-checking. Not one person is not dissociating in order to please another, which is how lots of sex happens. Yeah, usually the person with the more expressive sex drive is the one kind of running the show, and then the other person has to give. Do y'all relate to that? I see this all the time. So no, sex is energizing. And if it's not energizing, it means somewhere along the journey, you lost yourself. So how to bring you back in is to start with a daily self-pleasure practice where you start to learn your body. It's okay if you're not tracking your body during sex, because you're probably not used to it. We're not taught how to track ourselves. We're taught how to track everyone else, but we're not taught how to, well, what does this feel like? Do I like this? Do I not like this? Is this tense? Is this open? Is this We're not used to actually feeling our bodies. We're used to analyzing, we're used to fixing, we're used to changing, but like feeling our bodies is a new endeavor for us. So take your time with your self-pleasure practice. I'm doing a lot of this. It's kind of self-attunement and royal codes that starts in 2 days. So I don't know, T, if you're already in there or not, but if you're not, jump in there, because it's really going to be about like claiming. It's going to be a month-long course all about claiming your own attunement, your own desires, your own energetics, so that not only every time you have sex, you're energized, but like all interactions with everyone else, you're energized. It's these energetic boundaries that you can start to set based on self-tracking. Cool. Let me know how that feels, T, as a response. Next question over on Facebook, and you are welcome. Hi, everyone coming in. Hi, Katha. Hi, Christopher. Hi, Cardoso. Hi, and hey, everyone over here. I don't know who's watching on Facebook, so let me know if you're watching, because it doesn't pop up the way it does on Instagram. I see Julia, and I see another Christopher over here. I'm going to read Christopher's question. And if you're just now coming on Instagram, this is a live Q&A that we do over in the Orgasmic Arc community. The link is in my bio to join. 1:30 p.m. There's always something awesome going on every Tuesday here in the Orgasmic Arc community. So Christopher, yay, T. Yeah, the link for Royal Codes is in my bio, and you can ask me any questions about it. You're more than welcome. All right, Christopher, are vices any part of your sex life or part of your life in general? Vices. No. Here's why. A vice to me inherently means that I'm chasing something. If I have a vice, I'm either running away from something or I'm chasing something. And that is going to cause me pain, suffering. If I'm chasing a vice, it means like, okay, there's something about my present moment that I want to get away from, or somewhere that I want to go that I think is better than where I currently am now. And that inherently is going to cause suffering, because by seeking something outside of ourselves, we are never actually satisfied. So I don't anymore have like this part of me that feels like I have a vice. I used to. Oh my God. I used to live a dual life. I'd have like secret sex lovers on the side and then be like a straight A put together student on the other side. This was back in college. As a pro dom and a nanny simultaneously. Like my life was very divided, and there was a lot of suffering because I was always chasing this sense of the next thing, this freedom, this like, yeah. And as I've started to learn myself, and I've started to learn where that impulse comes from, I've learned that that impulse comes from a desire to run, flight, which is trauma, right? Or desire for something better than the moment. And the way that I want to exist on the planet in my lifetime is I want every moment to be extraordinary, because I could die right now. So I don't want to chase, because if I'm chasing, there's inevitably going to be these moments, these drops where I don't have the thing. This is also addiction. Yeah. We just get really addicted to the ups and downs, versus right now in this moment, I am in so much pleasure. There's nothing that I need. And if I'm not feeling that, that's why I have a self-pleasure practice. I can drop myself back into the perfection of the moment, to how beautiful it feels to feel alive, to how sexy it is to feel alive, to how amazing it is to just be breathing. So I don't have vices anymore. I definitely used to, and they were a way of me escaping the feelings that I didn't want to feel. But now that I'm feeling, it's quite extraordinary. It's so funny to me how much we escape our feelings, right? We do whatever we can to escape them. And then I notice with myself and with clients, like once we just feel the feeling, it's extraordinary. It's like, oh my gosh, all of a sudden I'm in immeasurable pain and also in ecstatic bliss simultaneously. And I'm living in that duality and I'm living in that polarity, and it feels fucking incredible. Yeah. And it grows me and it strengthens me, and it allows my energetic expanse to continue to grow. And I get to hold more life. And to me, if I'm here on this planet, I want to hold so much life. I want to know what it's like to feel everything so much and so deeply. And that's why sex to me is so incredible. It's like how much can I feel the aliveness that is right in front of me, that's happening in my own body right now, that's happening in this person that I love right now? Like, how much can I be attuned to the right now, to the present? And now my practice is to have sex everywhere all the time. I'm having sex right now. Because I'm like, how much can I feel the ecstatic aliveness of this moment right now? It's subtle, but it's always here. And it's extraordinary. So that's how I play nowadays. Again, this is all Royal Code stuff. If you want to tap into this, this is really what we're doing in Royal Codes. Royal Codes is going to be amazing. We're going to go into trance states, ecstatic states of aliveness, like how to live your life in this constant buzz of pleasure and joy. Just like joy for the right now versus chasing the joy. So come on into Royal Codes. We start on Thursday. This is my only time doing it live. So you definitely want to come in live, and it's going to be just phenomenal. Like the people that are already there are phenomenal. It's on Zoom, and I'll be able to see your faces when I'm chatting to you, and that'll feel so great. And we're just going to go really deep into these codes of aliveness, of ecstatic aliveness. So I'm really excited. Okay, so this was the Q&A for today. Instagram, thanks for joining. If you want Instagram to come and hang out in the Orgasmic Art community with us every Tuesday at 1:30, we always have something incredible going on. The link is in my bio to join the community, and it's a totally free community. So next week we have something that I love, and I call it Confessionals. And so what Confessionals is when I read anything about your sex life that you feel shy or shameful about. Why? Because the number one killer of sex is shame. It's the number one killer. So Orgasmic Art community, I will post the link to type in your confessional. It's anonymous. And what I'll do is I'll share these confessionals, and then I'll share about my experiences in my life. And the goal is with confessionals next week at 1:30 p.m. right here in the Orgasmic Art community is that you can start to feel that your shame is not unique, and the feelings that you have around sexuality are not unique, and your fear around it is not unique. And you're in a community of people that feel the same way. And that can help you start to release any shameful feelings or moments or memories around sex and help you live more freely, which is really what I want for you and for the entire world. So I'll see you next week, Tuesday at 1:30. I'll post the form here for you to fill out your confessionals. I will read it completely anonymously. I don't even know who's who because it doesn't even take your name, but it's a great way to just air out anything that you've been holding in around sex, self-pleasure, eroticism, fantasy. Like, just get it out there. And we're going to make it something that we can all talk about as a community, so that we're no longer hiding in the shadows around our sex. We don't have to anymore. I love you. I love you. Thank you all for being here and for these fabulous, amazing questions. I know that they supported our community so much, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.